Do I have everybody's attention now?
This is it, Josh! This is it!
It's WrestlePoint here.
That's not what I expected at all.
With a Rampage and SmackDown review for October 1st. Was an eventful night. The draft was for SmackDown, and for Rampage, well, it's Rampage. So we're gonna talk about that first and get that out of the way. All right. That's your cue, Eric. That's your cue.
Sorry, no, my connection lagged out for a sec, so I missed a little bit of that.
But
So yeah, starting with Rampage, it was no, it was mine. But anyway, Rampage, it's I just said it to you guys, so I'll say it again now that we're live. It's not like Rampage this week was bad. It's just there's only not only so much you can say about a 1 hour show, but there's only so much good that can come of a 1 hour show. And honestly, I think they did themselves a huge disservice by having Orange Cassidy and Jack Evans main event, because you think about all the talent that they have on that roster. How are these guys main eventing? I get that they have a stipulation, but that's
honestly don't think
you can't build a main event around a stipulation if it's going to be two guys that no one cares about.
I don't think they look at it as like a main event spot, more of a like last people to wrestle. Because like
that's a main event. So that's the
definition. No shit, Eric, no shit. But you know what? I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm not even gonna try to make my point because he's just gonna shoot it down. Whatever.
I do think AEW is getting a little too cute with the whole great match to open, and then like it gets lackluster towards the end. Like sometimes, like I get it. Sometimes you want a hot opener, but at that point where this was filmed on Arthur Ashe. It was not Arthur Ashe. It was filmed the Rochester right after Dynamite. So you're like who really cares if this match starts Rampage, because you're just the crowd's going to be hot no matter what for Bryan Danielson. So I feel like at some point it gets a little too old when you're putting all your best matches first and you have a lackluster rest of the card.
And I have a point to make about that, but it'll go better if we just get into the first match. It pertains to the first match. So Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. And so we all know that Bryan Danielson's a fantastic one-on-one wrestler. But one thing that no one really knows, because he doesn't get that many single spots, is Nick Jackson's a pretty good one-on-one wrestler as well. So I was actually I was looking forward to this match. It was good. It was fine. Bryan Danielson was great as always. Nick Jackson held his own. I'm just kind of getting, and I don't want to say it's show-wide because it wasn't necessarily just this show. I feel like AEW they kind of just repeat it's the same shtick with everybody over and over and over again. Like the Elite's they're always gonna interfere and then spray each other with the cold spray, which is the weirdest thing ever. And then Bryan Danielson obviously has to get the win here. That was the right decision. But then the Elite mob is gonna come out and do their whole shtick, and then Jurassic, and it's repetitive to the point where the same people are coming for backup every single time. So the point that I wanted to make here was, so this match I timed it, and I didn't have a problem with the length, because this is a 1 hour show and you just kind of want to give the best people the time. But what the point that I wanted to make was going off of what Cody said about when they start the show off hot. That's going to start working, and it kind of in certain times does work to their detriment, because especially this is not only free TV, but this is their B show. And when you have 20-minute matches like this on your B show, it not only takes away from the actual main event of the show, but it also kind of detracts from your actual pay-per-view matches when your free TV matches are just as good as your pay-per-view matches. It detracts from the significance of your pay-per-view matches, in my opinion.
I disagree with that. This is why. So you said because they're putting up too good of a. So the argument is they're putting up too good of a free matches. Is that what your argument?
I don't want that to be taken as like they should water down their matches. What I'm saying is if you're gonna have you can't really have a bunch of 20-minute main event caliber matches on free TV, because then when you have a pay-per-view match but listen to this, and this is for AEW, and this can actually
what are you saying? It can actually factor more into WWE, in my opinion.
Of course, yeah. It's an industry-wide thing that I'm saying. I'm not just for
AEW only has 4 pay-per-views a year. And those pay-per-views, they're gonna be quality matches, at least 1 or 2 every time. So I feel like to keep having intrigue into watching AEW live, like on TV, because if it's just for the segments, a lot of people can just go on the YouTube, watch the segments, and then be done with it, just to see the story further progress, right? But I feel like you have to have those intriguing, like, matches, because from my knowledge, they don't put the WWE, not the AEW YouTube channel doesn't put on the full matches, right? So that's not where you can watch them.
Well, not yet. WWE doesn't either, unless it's like an old time. It's an old.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm speaking for AEW because we're talking about Rampage, but you have to have those like full matches, intriguing matches, good matches to like keep people watching. You know, if not, you're just gonna tune in for the segments, and they post the segments. You know, and then you would just go on YouTube, post segments. You spend 30 minutes and you call that, and then the viewership of Dynamite would drop down. That would concern TNT, leads to other things that will have to relocate to a smaller network. It just goes downhill from there. So I feel like they have to have those like good matches every night, and it just shows how competitive these guys are. These are like indie workers, right? Coming up from TV, like they're competitive. They are bound to have good matches. That's what they drive on.
Yeah, in the context of their pay-per-view matches, I agree. But as far as when it comes to like a card like this, where the main event already is with the bot with like talent that's very low on the card.
No, I get that.
Yeah. This was more of a. I wasn't just like bagging on AEW. It was more of an industry-wide thing. But then in AEW, it's more focused on like their free TV.
Yeah. Well, Rampage has to do that for the fact that like the Rampage has already pretty well done their big stuff with the CM Punk debut and all that stuff. Now, like, I guarantee you, not many people are staying up after watching 2 hours of SmackDown and say, I want to watch Rampage.
Even now. I don't. Like,
you have to make it very interesting for Rampage, at least. I think people watch Dynamite on their own volition just because it's AEW, but, like, Rampage, it's hard to, even for us that we review the show, it's really hard for me after watching 2 hours of SmackDown to switch over to.
Well, you also have to keep in mind that not everybody watches 2 hours of SmackDown first. Only on the East Coast.
It's a tough time slot. It's 11 p.m. on a Friday night. Like, who's gonna be sitting on the couch
on the East Coast? Yeah, on the West Coast.
Yeah, but like even on the West Coast, where are you more to it? The best wrestling show that WWE has to offer each week, or are you going to watch the second tier AEW show?
Even though,
what I'm saying is on the West Coast, we get to watch Rampage from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then we have SmackDown from 8 to 10.
Like even that, I don't know if I would watch that before. I don't even know if I would watch that before SmackDown because I don't want to watch.
I feel like that would be easier though.
We don't need to talk about the time zones and all that. Let's get back on track. So again, didn't really as far as the match itself, I didn't really have a problem with the match other than like it's just again the same shtick, and then we get into the afterbirth where the elite mob comes out and they didn't. So I shouldn't have said they did their usual shtick because they actually didn't. They actually went out just to check on Nick Jackson. And then just, even though they've done nothing, and I guess I understand why they came out, but Jurassic Express and Christian Cage come out, but it's just that they're copying and pasting every segment between the Elite and Bryan Danielson, and they're repeating it every week, where the Elite mob comes out, and then Jurassic Express comes out, and then, so the Jurassic Express gets in the ring. So now they're all in the ring, but they're still not interacting. And then Matt Jackson like walks over and like says something, and then Christian Cage throws the first punch in true babyface form, and then they have a fight, like you knew they would, and then Adam Cole gets into Jungle Boy gets Adam Cole in a submission, and this was this next part was I think really dumb. They had Kenny Omega run in alone and just immediately get put into the labella lock, which, I mean, yes, Bryan Danielson's a submission specialist. That's like, it's believable that he gets Kenny Omega in that, but I think it makes your world champion look really weak if he's just going to run in and just not even get a hit on anybody, just immediately put into the submission. And they did the
look like he has a challenger.
But we already did. They just went to a 30-minute time limit draw. But anyway, then they did that. So they did the double tap out spot, which is like fine. I don't have a problem with the double tap out spot, except even the crowd. If you listen to it, the crowd, like from when Kenny entered the ring to when he started tapping out, the pop did not increase at all for the tap out, because even they're starting to catch on that these angles.
Okay, but like at the same time, like I said before, this is the 4th hour of this.
Yeah, it's a bit different. They've seen it's the second similar to this already, so they're not going to be as hot if it.
Yeah, we've already seen this technically.
Yeah, so of course it won't going to be hot about it.
No, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at my TV. I need to figure out what to watch afterwards.
It didn't feel. I don't think it felt very important.
No, I get that.
Whatever. It was a good match though. Nick Jackson was getting crushed.
Yo,
he was like, it was hard hitting. That was a hard hitting.
Nick Jackson, Bryan Danielson was on his knees and he just took those kicks to the chest and he just looked at him like, come on. I was like, yo.
They spit on him.
Oh my, yeah, he did. I was like, yo.
I think you're finally starting to see Bryan Danielson a little bit like getting used to like the AEW style of wrestling, because WWE has been his thing forever now. So like he needs to like readjust to being like essentially an indie type wrestler again.
I also like that he won the match with cattle mutilation.
I was surprised that's how that happened. That match ended, but it's cool.
It was great.
Yeah. So moving along to next, we got a Ricky Starks video package where he cuts a promo on Brian Cage. There was nothing wrong with this. My problem is I thought that Team Taz was feuding with Punk, and then additionally, because I get that Ricky Starks hasn't really been a part of that CM Punk feud, but I feel like the Ricky Starks Brian Cage feud's been going on way too long, and it's been very stop and start. Yeah, it's been very stop and start to the point where it's just even though this was a fine video package, I wasn't very into it, and I'm not into seeing them have another match.
I think, I don't think anybody's interested too much in this. I just want to mention Ricky Starks because when we talked about the pillar last show, we talked about the future pillars of AEW, and Ricky Starks wasn't one of them, and just I feel like he is maybe that fifth.
I mean, Ricky Starks, I can't remember the last time I seen him on TV.
I know, but he's like a permanent, really good.
And at the same time, that the context of the Pillars promo, was for MJF just to say 4 guys that he's beaten. And I don't think he's wrestled Ricky Starks.
But talking about Ricky Starks, him and MJF would have a good promo segment.
It would.
Yeah, well, like Ricky, I'm not interested because I haven't seen Brian Cage for weeks. I haven't seen Ricky Starks for weeks.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing with that feud.
And this feud has stopped and started 5 times.
Yeah.
I honestly miss Darby and Ricky Starks feuding. I think that feud was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyway, next we had a CM Punk video. Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying, of course you have to have, and I'm not even being sarcastic, you do have to have CM Punk on every show in some capacity because he is just that over. But I don't know, this video pack... Well, actually, okay, let me start off with what I liked about it. CM Punk's done a great job at it. I'm pretty sure every time he's either gotten on the mic or had a video like this, the first thing he's done is put someone over. And, in this, he even said, he pretty much said, the reason that I beat Will Hobbs is because I am experienced. He pretty much said that, without saying the words, he pretty much said that Will Hobbs may have been the better man, but he made one mistake. So I like that CM Punk is kind of taking every opportunity he can to put a young guy over. But after that, this didn't. I felt like this. It wasn't bad. I just feel like it didn't serve much of a purpose. Did it not? He just kind of said
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I have 2 issues with this. First off, I didn't understand why I was on the show. If I'm being honest. The second, I don't like back-to-back videos. Back-to-back packages.
Well, that's not CM Punk's fault.
I'm not criticizing. Oh my god! I'm not even criticizing him. I'm just saying there's no reason why there should be back-to-back video packages.
I think AEW and WWE do it a lot. WWE does it recently. They've been doing it way too much. AEW has been doing it too. Yeah. CM Punk's thing. I think it served its purpose. Its purpose being that, hey, I'm getting wins over these two young guys, right? That are actually good in the ring. They're just not good for being young. They're good because they're good in AEW context. They've beaten credible guys, right? And now that I've beaten those two, maybe other people are like, oh, CM Punk, he's a hot shot. I gotta take him out. I gotta target him. He's coming up. That's what I felt like it was, and I feel like it is.
I don't know. I don't consider Will Hobbs really a credible guy right now. If I'm being honest.
Why?
Wait, who's he?
He doesn't win matches. He beat Dante Martin, but like
Dante Martin doesn't win. Who's he beating? Brian.
I agree, and I disagree.
Like Eric Finesse.
Yeah, I agree and disagree. Because basically, like, he's credible in that he's on TV every week, but he's not credible in that he loses far more often than he wins.
What big wrestler has he lost to?
Everyone but Dante Martin.
I need to look up his record. But
he kicks ass on YouTube. He kicks ass on YouTube, but that's everyone on TV kicks ass on YouTube.
Then again, it's in the context of the AW universe, like when they say, "Oh, he's."
Was it the MCU?
No, but that's how it works. It's the WWE universe. Their context. You don't think Becky's actually like that in real life? That's a character.
Becky's going to be Universal Champion next.
But where are we
talking?
But why are we? But wait, what is your? Why did you bring it up?
Because you're saying it's not the MC universe. Yes, but it's the wrestling little fiction. This the fiction right there.
It's called kayfabe, Dom. Come on.
But like I'm confused why you brought it up.
But what up? Because you were confused about it. You brought up this MCU. I'm like, what are you
No, why did you bring up the AEW universe? Like, what point?
Because that's where he's more credible within the AEW's kayfabe.
Yes, and that's what matters in this.
No, it matters what the fans say. The fans, if you think he's credible, that's what matters.
But you know who's credible? Minoru Suzuki. But in the wrestling AEW ring, he's not. So that's the point.
I mean, he fought John Moxley. So.
We just have it's crazy. Even a 30-second CM Punk video just.
I mean, like you can't say a bad thing about the guy, and Dom's gonna wish death on your family.
I'm not saying a bad thing about it. I don't understand how you guys don't see what. It's
I know I do. I agree with both. I think you both have valid points. It's just I think there's like there's Dom's point and Cody's point. And I think the truth is in that gray area. It's kind of both.
You know what? Actually, this video was the greatest video I've ever seen in wrestling.
Oh my god, Cody!
It was the greatest. 10 out of 10. Oh my god. This should go in the Hall of Fame of videos.
So moving on. So next we had the women's triple threat of Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose versus Thunder Rosa. And I'm going to preface this by saying I knew Jade Cargill was going to win. Cody, you tried to make faces during our review yesterday as if I was wrong, but I knew she was going to win. But so here's some. It's weird because at the beginning I liked up until the bell rang because you had Jade Cargill.
Wait. Do you mean like the bell that rang that started the match?
Yes. Because the visuals the visual works. As Jade Cargill looks like a star. Nyla Rose looks like a star. The only person that I would say doesn't really look like a star is the one that works like a star, Thunder Rosa. She when you look at Thunder Rosa just by herself, you don't think, oh my god, like women's champion ass kicker. But then when she's in the ring, she works like a star. So that all worked, and then the match started, and this match sucked. But there's only so much you can do when the person who's going over is like the most green person in the business. You could tell they were going to lengths to hide Jade Cargill in this match and just make sure that she didn't make herself look too stupid. And I actually have a question. I went back and rewatched it to see if I missed it. When did they pull out the table? I don't remember ever seeing anyone. I watched the match twice. I missed it both times.
To be honest, this match was going on during our review, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, it was bad. So
was it commercial? Maybe during the commercial.
Yeah, well, actually, no. I watched the ending, but I didn't see where they put the table.
Yeah, they must have done it over the commercial break. Yeah. So Thunder Rosa puts Nyla, and then so they made Thunder Rosa look very stupid because she put Nyla through a table outside the ring and then covered her and put her hand up in triumph, even though she wasn't in the ring and it wasn't false count anywhere. So Like she's celebrating, even though the ref's not even counting, and the announcer's like, she's got to get her back in the ring, and she's like, yeah. No, Thunder Rosa's doing this.
I mean,
and then Thunder Rosa gets.
Yeah, I think that might be just Thunder Rosa being dumb. Be like, oh wait, it's the triple threat. If they didn't tell her to do that, then she did not do herself many favors. And then she gets back in the ring, and Jade Cargill has a chair and delivered like the worst chair shots I've ever seen. She swung it slow. She swung it like someone that's never held a chair before. She swung it noticeably slow so as to not hurt Thunder Rosa, and she swung it like a 5-year-old. It was ugly, and then Thunder Rosa getting pinned directly after those chair shots. Thunder Rosa came out of this match, I think, looking so bad. I mean, she should have hit her hard with the chair, and she could have been called the chairwoman.
Sean Spears.
Yep.
Thing.
Mixed tag team champions.
I was surprised about the result. Cargill, now she's gonna have a shot against Britt Baker. Like,
is that what this was for?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was. I didn't see it advertised as that.
Let me double check.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but I mean, but
well, I don't. So the thing about this match is like all three women on this match, their characters could not use a pin. Like they shouldn't have been pinned. None of them, and you're setting one of them up to fail. Like I think oddly enough, I think Nyla Rose could afford a pin. They're not.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe. Vicky Guerrero needs to go somewhere.
Vicky was distractingly annoying in this match.
She's always annoying.
But she is annoying.
Like more so than I remember her ever being.
Excuse me.
My friend who is a non-wrestling fan, he loves Vicky Guerrero. He's like she's fucking hilarious.
But he does.
Wait, what? Here you can move on.
Yeah. So next thing we got a Malakai Black video, and I liked it and I didn't like it. I'll say I got mixed signals from it, and I don't know, depending on which signal it was actually trying to send, I have issues with it, because on one hand, at the beginning, it seemed like he was cutting a promo on Cody, as in their feud is still going, which is a signal I don't want, because I don't want that feud to continue, because I don't think Malakai will beat him a fourth or a third time. But then towards the end of the promo, he kind of was giving off vibes if he's done with Cody, he's going to move on to the rest of the roster, which I liked, but so I don't know which way we were supposed to take that. I assume he's still feuding with Cody, so I don't really know what to think of this.
Yeah, it's a good package, but at the same time, it's like I'm just so over this. It's like it could be the greatest promo in the world, and I'm over this feud.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Not much to say on there. And then something that I have even less to say about. So we had a video package on Sammy Guevara winning the TNT Championship. So here's what I'm deciding. Because their booking decision to take the title off Miro was so stupid, I refuse to watch anything Sammy Guevara is until he loses the title. So I skipped it.
Oh my god!
I'm boycotting his entire title reign.
I'll join you, except for the matches. I'll watch the matches, but his promos I will not.
And I'm not watching him against Bobby Fish, because I can't stomach watching him beat Bobby Fish, because we know that he's going to win.
I mean, Bobby Fish.
And if he doesn't, then that'll be kind of shit.
That'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Can't wait till the Undisputed Era reunites in AEW.
That'd be cool. You got anything to say on the Sammy Guevara video, Dom?
Nope.
All right. Well, so we only have two things left. So the next thing we got before the main event, we had an outstanding Cody's favorite guy in the business, a Mark Henry interview masterclass with Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. And the reason that I made this a banner, there were two reasons. One, to fuck with Cody and make him talk about Mark Henry, even though he still won't. And second, to talk about how stupid this actually was, because you have Matt Hardy on one hand with scissors in his hand, just snipping them with a stupid look on his face, and then cutting a promo that no one cares about. And then Orange Cassidy pretending like he doesn't understand what the match is, not understanding that he's in a match, and like, what does Orange Cassidy do that just like that is good? What is he?
I understood he was in a match.
He knew he was in a match, but he didn't know what the match was. He's like, how do I win this? What is it? Like, what is this? And then if you lose, then they're gonna cut your hair. And he's like, I guess I'll go win then. Like what does he add to the program that's good? And how does name me one segment he's ever been in that elevated somebody and didn't make the person with him look stupid.
I mean, Mark Henry always looks stupid, so can't really.
But regardless, this so we get into the match. Why is this a main event? This is two guys that have never, hard as they try, Orange Cassidy's never going to catch on as any sort of legitimate draw as far as a wrestler. He's always just going to be always going to be a comedy act.
A draw, I would say, yeah. But
I meant draws in as in I want to go watch his match. Like, people will come to watch him be goofy and because they ironically think it's funny after, because I guess some people are watching 2 years of the same jokes. But this was dumb. The match wasn't good. Then, of course, you knew that the Hardy family office was going to come out. So Matt Hardy brings out half the Hardy. This interference was not interference, but this kind of standoff was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Because first of all, why did Matt Hardy just kind of know he should only bring out half of his Hardy family office? As if he knew that the best friends were going to come out and even the numbers, and then he would need to bring everyone in. Why didn't he just bring all 20 of his people out in the first place?
Maybe they were busy.
No, they weren't, because they immediately came out as soon as the numbers got to them. And then second of all,
they were having a party.
Where did the other people? Where did the best friends come from? Did they come from the crowd?
They were they're just watching.
I just couldn't tell where they came from. And then Matt Hardy calls out the rest of the office. They do nothing. Orange Cassidy wins. Then Angelico gets beat up because I guess they heard me and Dom say that we like him, so they had to go ahead and make him look really dumb. And then they cut Jack Evans' hair, and nobody cared, and no one's going to care about it next week.
Do you know that they added Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy to the ladder match?
They did, and I hate it. Also, I have a question. So, as far as this being a hair versus hair match, and not even just this being a hair versus hair match, but Matt Hardy's big thing about cutting Orange Cassidy's hair in general, he doesn't even have that good of hair. Why was that a big thing? I feel like, as far as I can think of, hair versus hair matches or these hair cutting angles, you always do it with somebody that's got nice hair that people don't want to see get cut. Orange Cassidy, he just kind of
CM Punk's hair.
He doesn't have bad hair. He just kind of has regular old hair. It felt very weird that
it's like shaving his Cody hair. So,
weird. The whole thing is weird.
Yeah, I don't care.
I forgot to mention, of course, when Matt Hardy brings out the rest of the Hardy family office, the Dark Order comes out. Because why did the Dark Order not come out at the beginning again? Because none of it made sense. And then at the end, it's Rochester, so you had to end with the Dark Order in the ring with -1 and all that. My only complaint, I understand the mustaches were for Brody Lee, but those mustaches did not even look close to what Brody Lee's mustache ever looked like. That just looked silly.
Yeah, that's true.
His thing was more a beard, not the mustache.
Hey, but remember, join the Dark Order.
Of course, join Dark Order.
It's
Bray Wyatt, join Dark Order.
I heard there's a rumor that Bray Wyatt might sign with Impact.
Oh fuck.
Well, what the fuck?
Well, actually, I read that Impact is just trying really hard to get him to sign.
Oh no, they're not, dude. No.
That would be terrible.
Trust me, I feel like he's the kind of guy who wants to continue his friend's legacy.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any final thoughts on Rampage before we move on to SmackDown?
I mean, in the first match, this was a terrible show.
I like 2 out of the 3 matches. Some of the video, I don't think it was awful.
Which video packages did you like?
Well, not packages. Which one video package did you like?
Yeah, which one video package is the best?
Punk.
Oh, which one was the best?
I'll have to rewatch.
all right, let's move on to
to a SmackDown.
Jesus Christ, give me a second.
Well, while Dom gets that ready, we can give our initial thoughts. So draft episodes are always kind of odd for me because I'm always complaining that WWE doesn't have enough wrestling on their shows, but when it's a draft episode, there's not as much room for wrestling because you have to do all the draft picks and the interviews and stuff. So with that in mind, there wasn't very much wrestling on the show, but in a weird way, it didn't feel like there really needed to be that much wrestling on this show. So this was it wasn't a fantastic episode, but it was definitely watchable. I enjoyed it. But it was kind of as far as the SmackDowns that we reviewed, it was middle of the road, which isn't bad.
SmackDown's kind of falling off a little bit.
I mean, it's hard when you're. It's like Rampage after CM Punk's debut. Like it's hard. It's kind of like after SmackDown's MSG show that was so good. It's going to be hard to replicate that for a while. It's naturally going to drop off a little.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on.
I think they're in a lull,
adjusting period.
Yeah, I think after Crown Jewel we might be because you're going to get into the rosters, you'll get more different, diverse matchups hopefully, and then. Yeah. Roman's still champion, so that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he won't be champion after Crown Jewel. Who knows?
Let's just oh my, get a little that here. But anyway, so let's just get right into it. So the show starts with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. They're going to be making all the picks. Sonya's delivering the picks for SmackDown. Adam Pearce for Raw. The first draft pick, it broke my heart just a little.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I have a question just before in the draft progress. So do one of them pick for each, or do they come together and be like, oh, we want these?
No, there's they don't make the picks. They just announce
the picks.
I guess.
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big mystery.
Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville's roles within WWE. I'm very confused about.
They're officials. They're just announced.
I actually like when they actually were this is the GM for SmackDown. This is the GM for Raw.
The first pick of the draft, it broke my heart a little bit because it was a SmackDown pick. So the reason that I picked Roman Reigns on our show when we were making our picks is because I suppose it's usually with the draft it's usually Raw gets 3 picks for every 2 SmackDown picks. I assumed that meant that Raw was going to get the first pick, and obviously Roman was going to be the first pick. That's why I picked him for Raw. And
strategy right there.
Yeah, and then
fine. Let's see if it pans out for him.
Yeah, so Roman gets picked first. It makes sense. It just broke my heart a little bit. And then the second pick, obviously Big E to Raw, then Charlotte to SmackDown, which confuses me a little bit. And then Bianca to Raw. And the only thing I gotta say is they're sleeping on Veer. That is a first-round pick. If I've ever, the only explanation is
after round 1, there's 1 point on the board.
So far.
Yeah, so what do you guys think of the first-round picks? There's obviously I think there was one of them was a surprise. I think.
I didn't think was going to switch either.
So actually, I did read a thing today from Sean Rossap that Fox requested that Charlotte moved to.
Which makes sense. Fox is very that's their big thing with their relationship with WWE is they're demanding pretty much all the biggest stars beyond.
Yeah, right now, honestly, it's pretty lopsided at this moment.
I think it's fair enough for Fox. Fox paid them a lot of money.
But USA plays them a lot, and they have a 20-year relationship.
Fox paid them much more though.
I think Fox is a bigger network though. Either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but regardless, nothing too Charlotte was.
The only thing that makes no sense to me is that why wouldn't just in the kayfabe sense if you can draft teams and stuff, why wouldn't you just draft the Bloodline and why wouldn't you draft the new
I was actually going to touch on that because they do it very selectively. Sometimes they pick the entire team, other times they just pick one person. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so that was the first round of the draft. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Charlotte on SmackDown with the Raw Women's Championship. She's definitely dropping the strap pretty soon.
She's either dropping it. So there's 2 things. She's either dropping it or Bianca wins that crown jewel.
Is that for the Raw Women's Championship?
Yeah, but they can change.
They can just be like, hey, because they've done it before. But hey, I'm the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown. You're the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah, I guess that'd be cool.
Let's switch titles, and they've done that before.
But I do think the more thing is going to be Charlotte dropping it, just so Charlotte can get closer to the record. Winning it again.
Of course. Yeah, so
there's a lot of mysteries right now.
That was the first round of the draft. It was fine. Then we get into Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring with Paul Heyman. Did this kind of feel? He had 2. Thankfully, he had 2 segments on this show. Did this first one feel not as great as as his segments normally are to you guys?
It felt pretty standard.
Of course, Brock comes out, which is great, but I feel like we've already seen Brock and Roman have the face-to-face. We've already seen Brock beat up it was cool to see him get his hands on Roman, but we've seen him beat the shit out of the Usos. It wasn't bad, but it felt very like I've seen this before.
So there's a thing that happens in this segment that I'm not sure if either of you caught, but so when Roman leaves the ring, Brock doing the Germans, and he Germans Jimmy, right? He Germans Jimmy. Roman doesn't really say anything. And then he goes to Jay, and Roman's like, don't touch Jay.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
He says that. He says, no, don't touch Jay.
And he touched him.
Brock did it. But, like, there's a little thing there where Roman didn't say anything about Jimmy, but when Jay got hit, he said something. Go back and watch it.
I feel like in the bloodline sense, Jay is the right hand man from Roman and Jimmy.
Yeah, but still, it just shows like maybe wonder like why were you?
Shows the pecking order.
I'm surprised I'm surprised the announcers didn't say anything about that, because that seems very important to make sure the audience catches on to.
It was like very like low key, like he didn't say like super. He's like, don't touch Jay. Like you could hear it as of a viewer, but honestly, they might have not been able to catch it on commentary.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. So I didn't not like it. This just felt like something I'd seen before, so it kind of didn't feel as important.
Brock was putting those Germans hard too. Their head was hit on that.
Yeah. Anything else from you guys on that?
It was good. It was a good segment.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I did like Paul Heyman when Roman said "acknowledge me" and the crowd went crazy, and Paul's like, "That's not loud enough." Then it doubles down and calls them Baltimoreans. Love that. But anyway, so next we get a backstage interview with Charlotte Flair. This is a thing that just kind of happened after. I think it happened after every round. Is Caleb Braxton interviewed?
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
So I'm not gonna. I love Charlotte, but I figured I knew what this interview was going to be, and I didn't care. Did you guys watch it? Can I guess what it was, and you tell me if I was right or not?
I did, but I can't remember what it was.
I did.
I remember.
Was it something along the lines of Caleb Braxton was like, "Hey, how does it feel to be on SmackDown?" And she's like, "I'm going to beat everyone up."
First, she was like,
"Aren't you more?" She said, like, I can't blame Fox. Why wouldn't you draft me number one for your number one? She made it a point that she was the number one woman drafted.
Yeah,
so.
She's the most decorated woman in pro wrestling history or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then she said, Caleb Braxton, weren't you supposed to congratulate me? Aren't you not doing a good job interviewing? That was kind of funny.
I still didn't. I just didn't see. And the same thing with when Drew gets interviewed later on. I didn't feel too much of a need to listen to these interviews because they.
But they're small though.
Yeah, I did listen. I did go back. I'll tell you when we get to the Drew segment what I did. But anyway, so the next thing we get Happy Corbin versus Kevin Owens with Riddick Moss, who they actually renamed Madcap Moss.
I hate this.
I love this name. Oh my god! It's
I give people regular names. God damn it. Yeah, so this time they actually had a match this time. I'm just kind of not. I'm kind of over this feud. I didn't fast forward it, but I didn't pay too close attention. I noticed that Kevin Owens lost, and I did he lose? Like it seemed like, of course there was that. There was a little bit of outside interference, but this felt like for the most part it was a pretty clean loss.
Hey, Stephon Diggs, you're on my fantasy team. You better do something this week.
Yes, but so was I wrong? Was this was there like an egregious amount of interference, or did Kevin Owens just kind of lose?
No, it wasn't. No.
So Madcap the King. When Kevin Owens was outside the ring, he was like talking to him and like just getting in his face. And then when Kevin Owens,
that's when he hit the end of days outside.
End of days.
But then he brought him back in and hit it again. Yeah, I'm telling you, Kevin Owens is leaving, and this is how they're like getting him out.
Honestly, it's hard to disagree with that. I don't like the pairing of.
Did he get drafted to Raw?
Kevin Owens? He didn't get drafted, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I know that I remember. I can double check. I don't like the Mad Cat stuff. Like he's like his gimmick is like telling jokes, and Baron Corbin laughs at all of it. And
there wasn't even jokes. It was laughed.
Like he's like, you want to hear? three jokes, and he said joke, and then or some bullshit like that, and they just laugh like this happy Corbin stuff is going from, at least from my perspective and how I like it, down south, and not in a good way.
I'm just looking something up really quick.
It's I just don't enjoy it anymore.
But am I crazy when I say that this is like how they're gonna run Kevin Owens' contract out?
No, you're not crazy. I think that's what they are doing.
I mean, like if like Kevin Owens is like, I'm not re-signing. Like,
I mean, why would he after this book?
I mean, but Kevin Owens has been booked pretty good for the majority of his run.
I agree.
No, that's why I think like the sudden switch up to having jobs coming out.
The switch up might have been Kevin Owens saying, "Hey, I'm not going to re-sign." And WWE like, "Okay, so we're going to job you out."
I agree. It's not like they gave him intriguing storylines over the year.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they're doing it. I'm just saying that's definitely.
You never know, though. You never know what can happen.
Kevin Owens, AEW.
Yeah. Kevin's
team.
But
for now, Kevin Owens to AEW, all but confirmed.
Okay.
But yeah, so next we had the next round of draft picks, which we saw Raw take RK Bro and Edge, and we saw SmackDown take Drew McIntyre and the New Day.
That's one for me.
The most obvious pick of all time.
I don't care. That's 1 point for me.
But yeah, so I mean, nothing very surprising. I'm actually okay. I think splitting up the New Day was. I'm not going to complain because I want Big E as far away from the New Day as possible. So this is good in my opinion. But yeah, nothing super. It was surprising they split up the New Day, but I think that'll be for the best.
I have a theory.
Everything else was. You have a theory? What's your theory?
I have a theory that Raw, the Usos are going to get drafted to Raw.
Oh boy!
And then Roman Reigns is going to strong arm WWE officials to make a trade, the Usos for the New Day.
No way. No way.
Well, so, I don't know.
No.
We'll
talk about
it.
That's a very
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get to that Roman Reigns segment, because that's where a lot of that's going to come from. But yeah, I didn't. It was a pretty uneventful second round. I think we knew Drew was switching brands. I don't care about the New Day, so.
I think
moving along next, we got
Raw is pretty.
Edge on Raw is pretty cool, but I think we expected.
Also, can I mention one thing? I forgot to mention this in the first round. I love that Pat McAfee's like so like SmackDown heavy. He's like, yeah, we got Roman. Yeah,
Pat McAfee's the best thing.
Like it feels like it's someone that's like. It's like your favorite team, and you want them to get the best player, and it's like
like the early like the mid 2000s, like it really felt like
JBL. I would say like JBL. JBL used to do that when he was on SmackDown.
When he was on the ECW originals as with the SmackDown crew, ECW One Night Stand 2005.
No, when JBL was on commentary on SmackDown.
Well, still he was pretty brand heavy. You know, I have a question real quick when you talk about brand split and all that stuff. Do you guys prefer like together brand like pay-per-views, or do you guys prefer brand split pay-per-views?
Oh, pay-per-views. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of liked it when they were split pay-per-views because it's just it feels more important when you don't see them fight so much. Like with Roman Reigns, part of the big thing with him is like what's awesome about him is that we don't see him on weekly TV all the time. Imagine how much more important his matches would feel if he only had a pay-per-view match every other month.
So I'll say this. I'm not for the brand split. I wish there wasn't even brands, if I'm being completely honest.
I just agree with that.
It's just my personal thing. Like you could have more different. Like you wouldn't have the same rematch over and over. You have your.
But you would see this more of the same people every week. You would see the champions Monday and Tuesday and Friday, and that would. You're gonna have like 15 people, and that's it.
My big thing about the brand split is I think the brands need to be split because they have so many people that need to be on TV.
100%. There we go. That's fact.
But to your point, I get the point about the brand pay-per-views, but because it would make like a Survivor Series Rumble feel much bigger because you don't see them at all. Like,
makes it more important, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I don't think I could live in a world where I don't see Roman Reigns fighting every pay-per-view.
I get that. I have to think about it. I'm like, What are some of the brand split pay-per-views of the last decade? I remember Battlegrounds 2017 with Sammy Zayn against
Like at
Mike
the end of the
Kanellis.
day, at the end of the day, like you anything can happen at pay per view because everybody's there. You know, like if it's just like a SmackDown pay per view, you know, like there's nothing real exciting happen. I guess.
Yeah.
Which is my thought.
But anyway, yeah.
I just wanted to get you guys' opinion about it.
Yeah, so moving right along, we get our second draft pick interview of the day. Caleb Braxton interviewing Drew McIntyre. So I did the same thing I did with Charlotte, where I didn't care, so I started fast forwarding, and then I saw the sword. I was like, God damn it, this fucking sword! So I went back just for fun, because when I looked up, he was like holding the sword up to the camera, and I'm like, okay, this is too ridiculous. Let me listen to this. So yeah, cuts a promo basically saying I'm here for the Universal title, and then points the stupid sword at the camera. Fuck off, Drew. Just fuck off. That's all I gotta say.
Drew McIntyre, the man. Anything, Cody?
And actually, I have another thing to say. The WWE needs to stop naming inanimate objects. Like when he's holding the sword, they say like, it's Drew and Angela, and then like they have a name for Xavier Woods' trombone. It's like they used to have a name for Xavier Woods' trombone. I know that. I don't remember what it was, but I know.
I don't know about that one.
No,
it was called like Francesca or something.
Francesca.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that was only
like,
one version.
We aren't 5. I don't want inanimate objects to have names. That's not going to. It's not going to get it over. It's not going to get it over with me if you like. It's not going to get Drew McIntyre over with me that he named his sword Angela.
See, I honestly don't like it, but at the same time, I love that Tommaso Ciampa called his championship Goldie. So
well, that at least makes sense because it's gold.
And Angela's a nice lady.
I don't know.
Let's just move on from this. This was pointless. Yeah, we know you're going to challenge and you're going to lose for the Universal Championship. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to start because I have a different opinion than I hated this.
You don't know our opinion. We didn't even say anything about it.
I'm just assuming. But I hated this. So Edge cut a very generic. I'm getting very sick of this feud because this feud's not changing at all. Like. Edge cut the promo that we all knew he would, just like the week before Seth cut the promo that we all knew he would. And then Seth, he says, Seth, come out right now. Then they cut to Seth, who's not there. He's at Edge's house, which is fine. They've done this before, and it's good. But then we go on like a 4-minute tour of Edge's house.
It was long. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he walks in the kitchen. He like gets an apple. He sits at the table and says some shit about his daughter's artwork, and then he like walks into the den eating it.
Okay, that was funny.
This would not end, and then you get Edge calling Beth Phoenix like don't go home. Like this was so ridiculous.
I need to talk about that.
This was where this is where they said. So the only thing that confuses me is I get that that's FTR's real name, David and Daniel or whatever it was, but in WWE, to go back to wrestling universes, in WWE kayfabe, their names are Dash and Dawson. So like,
but like but at the same time they're using their real names because it's a serious situation. And you know why?
But it's still
WWE as well. WWE would do that. Like
just like it felt it's weird to me in the way like remember in
but like everybody calls if you're serious with Triple H you call him Hunter
but that's his because that's his kayfabe first name. You don't call him Paul.
Oh no, Triple H called him. I mean, CM Punk called him Paul.
Did call him Paul?
Yeah, in a shoot promo. WWE didn't tell him call him Paul. Yeah, WWE didn't say call him Paul. It feels to me weird. Like I think it was 2017 when the Spirit Squad came back for a minute.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
And they started saying like they started saying like it just felt weird to me because Dolph wasn't Dolph in the Spirit Squad. He was Nikki. He was a completely different person. Like Nikki of the Spirit Squad and Dolph Ziggler in the universe are completely different people. It just feels like why are you crossing your wires here? It feels very.
I mean, are they though? They're different names. Yeah.
Like if FTR comes back, they're going to call them Dash and Dawson. They're not going to call them David and Daniel.
Yeah, but like it's a serious situation. There's a guy in their house.
Honestly, Cody's the only one who has strong feelings about this.
Do you know why? Do you know why they mentioned them?
Wow.
They're in their neighbors. So
Okay, cool.
Dom, you know what? Shut the fuck up.
What? What you're melted.
But anyway, yeah, I want to hear enough about the name thing. I want to hear what you guys thought of the actual segment.
It went way too long. I'll give you that.
I like the in-ring promo. Actually, I didn't mind it.
And then I love that. I love that his daughter's painting. He just trashed on it. I thought it was hilarious.
That was funny, but it's like the house thing lasted way too long. It's like 5 minutes, and I just have.
Anytime I see somebody's like house, like in a
his house is really nice though.
Yeah,
Holy
in
shit.
the pro wrestling like thing, I always think of.
You think that's his actual house?
Yeah, I can see that. I
Probably.
always think of Triple H like invading Randy Orton's house and throwing him out the window.
Oh my god, that was great.
That
That's probably the best house.
Yeah, that's the best house. Like said. Oh well, and Brian Pillman with that's to be mentioned too.
Didn't he bring a gun? Was that a real gun?
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So next, oh god, I forgot what was next.
If this is Carmella, I'm not talking about it. By the way.
Yeah,
I
it is. I'll just say one word: stupid.
All right, move on.
Yeah.
Cool mask.
So next we have the third. So I got the draft picks up right here. The third round of the draft, which saw Raw take the women's tag champs that I don't care about, and Keith Bearcat Lee, and SmackDown take. Okay, I hated both of SmackDown's picks here. Oh no, I didn't hate them both. Why are Corbin and Madcap Moss they're not a tag team? Why are they able to be picked together? This was only the second segment they've ever been in. They don't feel like a pair to me. And Hit Row, I think it's way too early for Hit Row to be on the main roster.
I agree.
Not because Isaiah Scott has the North American title. They'll obviously take care of that. But what's the girl's name?
I need to mention BFAB.
BFAB.
I think.
Yeah, they just introduced her as an in-ring competitor, and she's green as the paint on my wall.
You have green paint?
That looks blue.
It's green. It doesn't show up very well on camera.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, it feels way too early for Hit Row to be on the main roster for me.
Okay, so first couple things. Oh, who was the first draft pick? The tag team champions.
Yeah, super.
Why are they getting drafted when they can appear on both shows? That doesn't make sense to me. Second off, who's the next draft pick? Madcap.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess I don't care. Hit Row. The only thing I really don't like is Isaiah Swerve Scott won the championship in July. He has not defended it at all since beating Bronson Reed, who is no longer in the company. So, Hit Row is way too early. I think they wanted some NXT talent for sure, but I don't see how Hit Row is really going to fit in with SmackDown, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. And then Keith Lee, I'm glad he got drafted, because usually you see like Cesaro a few years ago. Cesaro got taken in like the sixth round or something ridiculous. At least him being drafted in the third round, it does further the notion that they do have plans for him, and I do want to see them do things with Keith Lee.
Oh, I agree. I think it's a bit early, but I think they could. I think at SmackDown. Minute.
I'm flagging.
Hit Row is cool. Theme song great. The 10-minute segment.
Dom, you're lagging, so I can hear.
I will repeat myself.
And I want you to repeat yourself.
I'm gonna repeat myself.
He said, "Yeah, yeah." But anyway, so
I repeat myself. Hit
next
Row
thing
is great. I feel like they're gonna find a 5 to 10 minute niche on this show.
Yeah. Well, anyway, So next we had an 8-man tag. Let me see if I don't have it written down. Let me see if I remember who it was. It was I do. It was the Street Profits of the New Day. So okay, I actually came up with monikers for both these teams. The criminally overpushed New Day and Street Profits versus the criminally underutilized Alpha Academy and Dirty Dogs. And so, given the 8 people in this match, I knew this match would be great. However, I knew who would win, and I couldn't stomach watching any one of Gable, Rude, Otis, or Ziggler taking a pin to 4 people I don't like that should not beat them. So I didn't watch it.
Who took the pin? I forgot.
No clue. I'm guessing one of the Dirty Dogs. Seeing the Dirty Dogs wrestle tonight,
if we were to rank these 8 people, I'd rate them.
In terms of what?
Oh, my connection.
What? Rank them in terms of what?
Sorry, my connection gave out. I was about to say, if you were to rank these 8 people from 1 to 8 based on wrestling ability, I feel like 1, 2, 3, and 4 in no particular would be Rude, Gable, Ziggler, and Otis, and they're the 4 that lost. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. These guys are way too good. They're good.
Wait,
they're amazing.
Gable third? Did you put Gable third on that list?
I said in no particular order. Those 4 would be the first 4.
No.
Like in terms of ring ability or like wrestling, like actual wrestling ability, like
ring ability. Ring ability.
No.
I mean, there's no way that 2 of those people are better than Kofi Kingston.
Which 2? I'll give you Otis.
Rude and Otis.
Rude's amazing.
I can say Rude. Otis.
You need no.
Kofi's not amazing.
Kofi's not amazing. Over Kofi.
He is the Bobby, but you don't know how good. You don't know how good Bobby Roode really is. That guy.
You hate to do that. That's why you constantly shit on Kofi Kingston. He's good. He's great in the ring.
I never said he's not, but Bobby Roode's better. Bobby Roode is way better, and it's not even. And the fact that you guys don't agree, I don't blame you because you haven't had a chance to see him because WWE's fucking him hard. He is amazing. He's amazing.
I will say this.
He's fantastic.
I will say this. Bobby Roode is one of the worst NXT champions to ever hold the title.
I've seen this work for most America's Most Wanted. Don't worry. Like I've seen it. I just like right now, Kofi over. Maybe back in the day, like prime Kofi, you could make an argument, but right now,
Kofi.
Agree to disagree.
We're looking at the prime spot.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on this.
Okay, sure.
It's okay to be wrong.
Did you guys watch? Did either of you guys watch the actual match?
No. I cannot stand multi-man matches anymore.
I don't even watch multi-man for New Japan.
Mm-hmm. And then let me pull up. I took down the draft picks for some reason, but we had I forgot we had one more to go. Oh, you have them? Okay, because the next thing we had was round 4 of the draft.
Okay, so for the 4th round of the draft, we have because my friend and I
know Jeff Hardy.
Wait a second. Hold your horses.
Sorry, my connection was bad. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, Dom, get into your thing because you're lagging, so we can't do back.
Me and my friend were looking forward to Rey Mysterio because he's a very Mysterio fan. But oh well. Austin Theory.
Rey Mysterio just got hurt, by the way.
Yeah, Austin Theory is gonna be on Raw, which is good. I'm happy for the call up for Austin Theory. I think that's gonna be very great. Maybe he'll be right away in the 24/7 title picture. We'll see.
I mean, you're a huge hypocrite when it comes to Austin.
Naomi is on SmackDown. I think that we could see that coming. And then Jeff Hardy, one of my predictions, landed on SmackDown as well.
The second most obvious pick.
It's not. You better stop.
Yes, it is. I was gonna pick him. I said that.
That doesn't make it obvious just because you're gonna pick it. No, so you're saying you would just all of your picks were obvious too.
No.
Then why? I'm saying just gonna pick it doesn't make it obvious. I don't think it's Jeff Hardy.
It makes it obvious. It makes it obvious when there were a bunch of rumors that the person was going there that were all but confirmed.
I didn't see those rumors. I just thought I thought that's wrong. I thought Jeff Hardy was gonna return.
Either way,
I got
we're not here to discuss if it was
I
obvious.
got 2 points.
As far as the actual draft picks themselves, Ray and Dominic seems random to me that they're moving. But I guess that is what it is. They'll continue their storyline. Naomi, again, it seems weird that Naomi is moving, but whatever.
She's not moving.
She's not. She's staying the same.
Oh, she's staying. Okay, good. That makes a little more sense. And then Austin Theory, I really like him as a talent. I didn't like him in the way because I hate the way. So I'm glad he broke away from them. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned with what they might do with him because they messed him up on the main roster once already, and then they messed him up in NXT. I don't think they're going to take him seriously as far as like giving him a push. So I'm not expecting much from him. And then who was the other one? Jeff Hardy. It's cool. I don't think they have huge plans with Jeff Hardy as far as like giving him a title anytime soon. But it's cool that it's cool he's involved.
He's on the brand that made him big, and that's good.
Yep. And then speaking of Jeff Hardy, he was supposed to have an interview with Caleb Braxton backstage, and before he could really get a word out, Brock Lesnar came up and hijacked the entire segment. I liked it. Just how everything.
Brock wants to give him the mic.
Yeah, everything Brock said, leading it back to how it's like, my friend Paul Heyman. I loved the way he was delivering that every time. He's like, my friend Paul Heyman, just because he knows Roman's watching. He knows that every time he says that, it's just going to dig into Roman's craw a little bit. So there wasn't much to it. It was pretty much just Brock saying, because of Paul, I'm a free agent and I can go wherever I want. But I liked it.
Like I said, Brock is underrated on the mic.
I think that Jeff Hardy was Brock Lesnar's first wrestling opponent in the main roster. I think so.
All right, Dom, this is like the most useless fact I've ever heard.
Yeah,
who cares?
Backlash 2002, Brock Lesnar versus Jeff Hardy. That was Brock Lesnar's first pay-per-view match. I don't know, it might be first WWE match. That's something you need to know. Cool throwback. Okay, let's move on.
Well, cool. So, we need to talk about what happened next because this led to a backstage segment with the Bloodline that was just awesome. It's Roman. He's like, "Hey, Paul, you like just as condescending as you can be." He's like, "You're good friends with Brock Lesnar, are you?" Like,
actually,
I thought we were good friends.
So no, he wasn't like smiling or anything. He was actually pissed about it.
I'm smiling. No, I'm smiling because I'm laughing at picturing what Paul was doing.
Because it was like, friend, huh? Are we friends?
Yeah. I wasn't sure. Yeah, Paul Heyman. So his hands are over his eyes, and Roman's like, "Are we friends, Paul?" And Paul lowers his hands to reveal that he is crying, and this was not a Key and Peele sketch. Those were not manly tears. Just crying. I don't even remember what happened after that point. I just remember it was hilarious. And Paul
he's like, "Oh, are you my tribal chief? You're my tribal chief."
He's like, yeah. And then Roman's like you want to prove yourself? Go to Raw. Make sure my cousins get drafted to SmackDown.
You missed one thing on this. When Paul's like, "I'm the wise man."
Yeah, that's the next episode.
Roman screams, "You're the wise man! When I tell you, you're the wise man!" That was very cool because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's I think the outside of a match in any promo or backstage segment, I think that's the first time since Roman returned and turned heel that he's lost his composure.
Yeah, he snapped because he's usually composed.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
It was awesome.
So then Paul scurries off, and then the Uso. Then he's talking to the Usos. He's like, I think I'm going to go to Raw too, or something like that, or like told them to go to Raw.
He says, "Paul, go to Raw to make sure my cousin gets drafted to SmackDown." And then when he leaves, he says, "You better go with them."
You better go with them. Okay.
And if he doesn't get you drafted to SmackDown, leave him for dead at Raw.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens on Raw.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brock Lesnar showed up on Raw this week.
That'd be cool.
Like assaulted the Usos.
Yeah, so yeah, this was great, but it was like a 2-minute backstage segment. There's only so much you can talk about because we had a main event to talk about. It was Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, and Sasha sucks, so I didn't watch it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I watched it. But
how Dom feels about CM Punk is how I feel about Sasha Banks.
I did watch it, and I was very excited for this match. But I do have, having said that, I do have one issue, and it's not a problem with them. It's a problem with the way the match was booked. So we know that they're both amazing workers. We knew they were going to have an amazing match. So like I don't get why they felt the need to. I don't really know the words to use to describe it, but I'll use a Jim Cornette word because he's awesome. Oh. There was too much gaga, like
what does that mean?
I'm going to try to explain it, so what I'm saying is there was too much gaga, and it led to a few botches that kind of took away from the match. So when Bianca got Sasha up in power slam position, and instead of just power slamming her, she had to do the squats and go, I'm the ES. And then Sasha reversed it and made Bianca look like an idiot. You don't need that. And then Bianca tried to get her up into military press position to show how strong she is, even though we know she's really strong. And she got Sasha halfway up, lost her, and dropped her. So that made Bianca look dumb. And then Sasha went for the rope-assisted tornado DDT. She missed the ropes, and that became really awkward. So my point is, they're amazing workers. They were going to have an amazing match regardless. You didn't need to try to put in these extra, like these unnecessary high spots and these like funny, these like EST gimmick moments. They didn't need those because their work was going to be able to speak for itself.
That's so that's botches. It happens in pro wrestling.
I'm saying they didn't like. It took not just the fact that they botched them, but the fact that like the botches didn't help things. But it just it took me out of the match just a little bit because it was just like those spots don't need to be there because the match was already going to be great.
If there was any botch, it was Bianca's fault. Let's just be
honest. Sasha missed the ropes, Cody. I hate to break it to you.
No, that was actually planned. That was actually planned. Okay, guys.
He's nervous.
and then the other one was when Sasha went for the power bomb on the outside and Bianca did the backflip, which was cool, but they tried to set up the face-to-face with Becky, and it got messed up because Bianca didn't quite go out far enough, so Becky had to walk up and be the person to put her hands on her, which should have been a DQ. And again, it's just like this match was already great. You were gonna do an angle like Becky was going to was involved in the finish anyway. You didn't need to try to shoehorn another spot in there, you know? But then, having said that, I did love the finish. Like when Sasha got the ref turned to him, Becky like pinned Bianca's hair down, and then Sasha got a roll up. It just keeps reiterating the fact to me Bianca needs to cut her goddamn hair.
It's a part of a gimmick.
How many times has the fact that she has really long hair like fucked her over in a match or like in anything? Like
how many times has she won the match because she has long hair?
Yeah. He or she lost because her hair is long. Sasha Banks used her hair to get her in a submission. She had her hair tied around the bottom rope. Her hair makes her look
psychology. The queen.
Yeah, like she's had her hair tied to the bottom rope. Like it gets her in way more trouble than it's worth. She needs to cut it. And it's not part of just because he whips her hair around doesn't mean it's part of her gimmick.
Yeah, it is.
It is a part of her gimmick.
It is. The whipping
that's like me saying Sasha's butt's part of her gimmick because he shakes it every time she's on stage.
That's not.
Just like how your lovely Jim Cornette.
She literally uses.
Would be excessive.
Did you not watch WrestleMania? That's where
his racket's a gimmick. That is a gimmick.
Hair
is not a gimmick. Hair is attached.
The way she uses it, yes.
Yeah, hair is attached to you.
But that's the way she uses
it.
But
it's so long and so thick that in WrestleMania when she was smacking Sasha with her hair.
Yes, tell me that's not.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it's worked to her detriment just as many times as it's worked in her favor.
I'm not arguing that it doesn't do that. I'm just saying it is part of her gimmick.
And I'm saying it shouldn't be. I'm saying
Okay,
that's silly.
but that's not what we're arguing for.
I think
Eric, two wrong opinions in one night, man. You're
Eric,
wrong.
I'm sorry that both of your favorite
Oh.
wrestlers aren't perfect.
I mean,
Oh.
Wait, I'm not done. I'm even more sorry that you guys are too blind to admit when they do something silly.
Oh, yeah, Dom. Yeah, Eric's favorite wrestler doesn't even show up on TV anymore. So
I'm also first of all, he's not cleared to wrestle, and I'm also more than willing to admit when Randy Orton does something bad that I don't like.
Okay.
Sasha was perfect in this match, of course. It's your first match in what? How long? Like a month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, Edge had his first match in 10 years, and you guys went crazy over it.
Huh?
Against his first, or not? Yeah, the one when he returned after the Royal Rumble. You guys were crazy over that.
What do you mean crazy?
The Randy Orton match?
What about it? When did we talk about
I didn't
this?
think we ever talked about that match.
We about this?
We watched it together.
I don't remember what we said.
That was the 2 WrestleManias ago.
Yo, that was a while ago.
I think, Eric, you were going to talk about the Seth Rollins. Then you realized he fought Randy Orton before.
I was. Okay, fine. Dom, CM Punk had his first match in 7 years, and you went crazy.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was not good. So.
Yes, it
and
was.
Sasha was out for a few months.
Yeah,
I never said Sasha.
I'm just saying you can't use she's been out for a few months as an excuse when CM Punk had a perfectly fine match after 7 years.
Don't attack me. I never said those things. Cody did.
Cody
said it, but this is the underlying problem that you two need to be willing to admit when your favorite wrestlers do something.
This is not my.
I'm not. Okay, I'll admit something right now. Her gear was bad.
Thank you. I was really worried, Cody, when I said that in our chat that you were going to say that it looked good, and I was just like, okay, now I can't talk to either of you guys.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'll say that.
I feel like that's why she messed up so much because she's used to
I agree.
And it's just a different.
Because she's not wearing tennis shoes.
But we also have to talk about how Charlotte attacked her after the match. I feel like
in the heels too.
That felt kind of, it was cool to see it was cool to see all 4 of them in a segment together, but it felt kind of forced to me that she just kind of
I can see that. I
don't think it felt forced. She's going to be on SmackDown now. I mean, I'm kind of annoyed that we're probably going to. I love Sasha, but I'm annoyed that we're going to probably get 5 million Sasha Banks versus Charlotte matches now. But
I want to mention, because you mentioned this in our chat, I do like Becky Lynch on commentary. I do too.
In a general sense, I do, but in this match, I thought she was really annoying. I thought she was really annoying. It was like every 5 seconds, she gave herself a nickname about a different body part. I'm Becky Biceps. I'm Becky Quads.
I think she's funny.
The one thing that I really liked that she said was when Michael Cole was going over the triple threat rules that every wrestling fan in the world already knows. She goes, Michael Cole, I know the rules. I won my 2 belts in a triple threat. I did like that.
That's why they call me Becky 2 belts.
Even though no one calls her Becky 2 belts, she does.
I call her Becky 2 belts.
Okay, then you're wrong. She has 1 belt.
It should be Bayley 2 belts.
Bayley nose straps.
Didn't Bayley
nose strap?
Bayley nose straps.
WrestleMania match.
Yes, WWE fucked over. Fuck it.
All right, so that's SmackDown.
Yeah, any final
thoughts? It's not really much about the show because, like we said, the show was fine. It was a different type of episode because there needed to be more. It felt like there needed to be more interviews than normal and less wrestling than normal because it was the draft. Having said that, I am excited to see what happens on Raw. I can't wait to see what round SmackDown drafts Veer, probably in the first, and then Sami Zayn in the second.
Hey, Sami Zayn.
Then Raw takes Sami Zayn also in the first round.
I'm gonna be honest, Eric. Sami Zayn going to Raw is a big possibility because they drafted
because they drafted Mysterios.
They drafted the Rey Mysterios.
Yeah, we'll see.
So maybe Eric can get 1 point at least.
Well, when Veer gets drafted to Smack, I actually did think about this though. I am starting to get a little bit worried about my Veer pick because of the low hanging fruit of calling. They've been missing the boat for how many years? when they call Jinder Mahal the modern day Maharaja, they've been missing like
Monday Night
Maharaja. They've been missing the boat on that for years.
Or they could do Monday night Maharaja.
I guess I don't care about him enough to.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny. And when the last pick is Jinder Mahal and Shanky.
Oh,
Uh,
piss me the fuck off.
All right, so yeah, it was a pretty decent show. I had nothing else to add really.
Yeah. It was a good show. It was a good draft. What wasn't what it needed to be draft. I'm just gonna be. We're not gonna do this anymore.
No, I'm doing it. End it.